So sorry about that live while ago. It went bonkers at the end and it kept, I swear to God, I ended it just like I been ended it, or I thought I did. Grady must have pushed something. But it looks like it's fine now. Helen called me and said, "You're still alive." I said, "Oh no, I've been trying to, I did go potty. But ever since just a few minutes ago, I've been trying to work on that dad blasted thing, but it looks like it's fine now." Thank you, Lord. So, we're back to Tom. Some people just probably shouldn't have a channel. I got to get better. Can't get worse. Y'all don't leave me, okay? I get lessons from somebody or other. Oh, my goodness. I hope I can read this and ain't too many hard words, and I better get started. Oh, I'm just tickled that I'm so ignorant. 24. Tom as the village hero, Days of Splendor and Nights of Horror. Pursuit of Injun Joe. And my teeth's about to fall out. That'll be the next thing to happen. Tom was a glittering hero once more, the pet of the old, the envy of the young. His name even went into immortal print, for the village paper magnified him. There were some that believed he would be president, yet if he escaped hanging. As usual, the fickle, unreasoning world took Muff Potter to its bosom and fondled him as lavishly as it had abused him before. But that sort of conduct is to the world's credit. Therefore, it is not well to find fault with it. Tom's days were days of splendor and exultation to him. Oh gosh, now I must sound like the whistling, what's that little animal, Winnie the Pooh? But his nights were seasons of horror. Injun Joe infested all his dreams, and always with doom in his eye. Hardly any temptation could persuade the boy to stir abroad after nightfall. Poor Huck was in the same state of wretchedness and terror, for Tom had told the whole story to the lawyer the night before the great day of the trial, and Huck was sore afraid that his share in the business might leak out yet. Notwithstanding Injun Joe's flight had saved him the suffering of testifying in court. The poor fellow had got the attorney to promise secrecy, but what of that? Since Tom's harassed conscience had managed to drive him to the lawyer's house by night and wring a dread tale from the lips that had sealed with the dismalest and most formidable of oaths, Huck's confidence in the human race was well nigh obliterated. Daily, Muff Potter's gratitude made Tom glad he had spoken, but nightly he wished he had sealed up his tongue. Half the time Tom was afraid Injun Joe would never be captured. The other half he was afraid he would be. He felt sure he never could draw a safe breath again until that man was dead and he had seen the corpse. Rewards had been offered, the country had been scoured, but no Injun Joe was to be found. One of those omniscient, omnipresent. I told y'all I'd miss up. I'm just going to skip over that. And awe-inspiring marvels. A detective came up from St. Louis, moused around, shook his head, looked wise, and made that sort of astounding success which members of that craft usually achieve. That is to say, he found a clue, but you can't hang a clue, and they're spelling clue, C-L-E-W, for murder. And so after that detective had got through and gone home, Tom felt just as insecure as he was before. The slow days drifted on, and each left behind it a slightly lightened weight of apprehension. And I forgot, Lisa, to put this on. Let me put on my storytelling thing. That was all of chapter 24. So I can read some of 25. I think it's short too. And it says, about kings and diamonds, search for the treasure, dead people and ghosts. There comes a time in every rightly constructed boy's life when he has a raging desire to go somewhere and dig for hidden treasure. Indeed, young girls too, right, girls? I remember doing that when I was a kid. This desire suddenly came upon Tom one day. He sallied out to find Joe Harper, but failed of success. Next, he sought Ben Rogers. He had gone fishing. Presently, he stumbled upon, guess who? Huck Finn. I should have brought my catfish in here. Squirrel Squad's all sitting here. Flat. Sammy Kathy, he just wants to keep jumping off the wall. I'm still waiting on Hannah to get my bricks up. Huck Finn, the red-handed. Huck would answer. Tom took him to a private place and opened the matter to him confidentially. Huck was willing. Huck was always willing to take a hand in any enterprise that offered entertainment and required no capital, for he had a troublesome superabundance of that sort of time, which is not money. Where'll we dig? Said Huck. Almost anywhere. Why, is it hid all around? No, indeed it ain't. It's hid in mighty particular places, Huck. Sometimes on islands, sometimes in rotten chests under the end of a limb of an old dead tree, just where the shadow falls at midnight, but mostly under the floor in haunted houses. I like stories about haunted houses, don't y'all? Who hides it? Why, robbers, of course. Who'd you reckon? Sunday school superintendents? I don't know. If 'twas mine, I wouldn't hide it. I'd spend it and have a good time. So would I, but robbers don't do that way. They always hide it and leave it there. Don't they come after it anymore? No, they think they will, but they generally forget the marks or else they die. Anyway, it lays there a long time and gets rusty, and by and by somebody finds an old yeller paper that tells how to find the marks, a paper that's got to be ciphered over about a week, like me in that video a while ago, because it's mostly signs and hieroglyphics. He said it funny, and I don't know that. Hieroglyphics is what he said. Hieroglyphics, pictures and things, you know, that don't seem to mean anything. Have you got one of them papers, Tom? No. Well, then how you going to find the marks? I don't want any marks. They always bury it under a haunted house or on an island or under a dead tree that's got one limb sticking out. Well, we've tried Jackson's Island a little, and we can try it again sometime. And there's the old haunted house up at the Stillhouse Branch, and there's lots of dead limb trees. Dead loads of them. Is it under all of them? How you talk? No. Then how you going to know which one to go for? Go for all of them. Why, Tom, it'd take all summer. Well, what of it? Suppose you find a brass pot with $100 in it, all rusty and gay, or a rotted chest full of diamonds. How's that? Huck's eyes glowed. That's bully. Plenty bully enough for me. Just you give me the $100. I don't want no diamonds. And then it shows little pictures of hieroglyphics in the margin. All right, but I bet you I ain't going to throw off on diamonds. Some of them's worth $20 a piece. There ain't any hardly that's worth 6 bits or $1. No, is that so? Certainly, anybody will tell you so. Ain't you ever seen one, Huck? Not as I remember. Oh, Kings has slathers of them. Well, I don't know no Kings, Tom. Well, I reckon you don't. But if you was to go to Europe, you'd see a raft of them hopping around. Do they hop? Hop your granny, no. Well, what did you say that for? Shucks, I only meant you'd see 'em, not hopping, of course. What do they want to hop for? I just mean you'd see 'em scattered around, you know, in any kind of a general way, like that old humpback Richard. Richard? What's his other name? He didn't have any other name. Kings don't have any but a given name. No? But they don't. Well, if they like it, Tom, all right. But I don't want to be a king and have only just a given name. But say, where are you going to dig first? Well, I don't know. Suppose we tackle that old dead limb tree on the hill t'other side of Stillhouse Branch. I'm agreed. So they got a crippled pick and a shovel and set out on their 3-mile tramp. They arrived hot and panting and threw themselves down in the shade of a neighboring elm to rest and have a smoke. I like this, said Tom. So do I. Say, Huck, if we find a treasure here, what you going to do with your share? And Humpback Richard, they were referring to, and you might know this, is Richard III, former king of England who had a humpback, and he had a great number of jewels. Well, I'll have a pie and a glass of soda every day, and I'll go to every circus that comes along. I bet I'll have a gay time. Well, ain't you going to save any of it? Save it for what? Why, so as to have something to live on by and by. Oh, that ain't any use. Pap would come back to this year town someday and get his claws on it if I didn't hurry up. And I tell you, he'd clean it out pretty quick. What are you going to do with yourn, Tom? I'm going to buy a new drum and sure enough sword and a red necktie and a bullpup and get married. Get married? That's it. Tom, you ain't in your right mind. Wait, you'll see. Well, that's the fooliest thing you could do. Look at Pap and my mother fight. Why, they used to fight all the time. I remember mighty well. They ain't anything. That ain't anything. The girl I'm going to marry won't fight. Tom, I reckon they're all alike. They'll all comb a body. Now, you better think about this a while. I'll tell you, you better. What's the name of the gal? It ain't a gal at all. It's a girl. Well, it's all the same, I reckon. Some say gal and some says girl. Both's right, like enough. Anyway, what's her name, Tom? I'll tell you sometime, not now. All right, that'll do. Only if you get married, I'll be more lonesomer than ever. No, you won't. You'll come and live with me. Now stir out of this and we'll go to digging. They worked and sweated for half an hour. No result. They toiled another half an hour. Still no result. Huck said, do they always bury as deep as this? Sometimes, but not always. Not generally. I reckon we haven't got the right place. Ooh, this is a long one. I'm coming up. Well, not real long, but I may have to stop. So I don't want to go through any surgery without the manager here. You know what? I think I'll stop right there because it's 14 minutes. So I just said, sometimes, not always, not generally. I reckon we haven't got the right place. Okay? And we'll still be on chapter 25. I'm still laughing about that dumb live video. I bet you people with channels just shake their head at me because I ought to know better. I still don't know what I did. I thought I ended it the same way that I did the other one. Oh, well. It's okay for now. I'm digging in this basket. Looky here. I got this in a grab bag at Michael's a long time ago. V for Van Hoy. It's got the things on the back that you can hang it up. Ooh! And I just happened, oh my goodness. Look found. I didn't even know I had it. I better look in this. Lindsay found some, speaking of treasures, and I'm going on after 15 minutes, which I should be able to do. People have told me, if your account's verified, then you should be able to go on longer than that. So, anyway, I'll let you folks go, and I'm going to dig in some treasure down here. Mwah. Love y'all. Teresa, get better. I'm praying for you. Praying for Sally. Praying for anybody that needs it. Let me know. Love ya. Be sweet. Don't be ugly. Love ya.